Good morning. Today I'm going to speak about the Metamorphosis, a book written by Frank Kafka. So the Metamorphosis speaks about a man called Gregorio Samsa who works, and one day he is sleeping like me right now. So he tries to go to the job, and he looks at his body and he says, "Oh, what happened with me?" And so Gregorio Samsa was becoming in a giant bug. He was the heck of a human, but he was a bug. Very weird. So in that moment, he doesn't know what to do. So he tries to get up, but he can't. So he thinks it is a dream. I'm sleeping. So he sleeps again, and he wakes up again, and he can get up again because he is a bug. So he says, "No, what would I do?" So in that moment, her family and his boss were at the home. So they were calling, "Gregorio! Gregorio!" And Gregorio was, "No, I can speak," because when Gregorio speaks, it sounds like because he can speak, because in that moment he wasn't a human. So in the next part of this history, Gregorio speaks with his boss, and his boss says, "No, man, what are you doing here? You have to be working." So his boss says, because Gregorio doesn't work in a good way in that moment. So he was not the best worker. And in that moment, Gregorio opens the door with his mouth in that way, and Gregorio says, because he can speak. And when the boss sees Gregorio, he says, "Gregorio!" and he runs away. And in that moment, the Gregorio's father says, "No, who are you? You're a bug." And he hits Gregorio with a stick. and then Gregorio goes to his room, and his sister Grete says, "Brother, what did happen to you?" And Gregorio didn't know what to do. Gregorio was in a nightmare. And in that moment, also, Gregorio tries to speak with his sister, but his sister doesn't understand him. And his sister brings food and some things for Gregorio. So Gregorio was in a complicated situation, and he tries to walk, and it was hard for him at the start. So then he could walk in the walls and in other places. So his mom and his sisters tries to take out all the furniture from the room, because they were trying to make a little freedom for Gregorio. But Gregorio says, "No, I'm still a human. I still want my bed, my shoes, everything." In that moment, Gregorio was the man who worked in his house, and nobody else works. So his family says, "Okay, we have to get a work." And his father starts working, his sister also. His sister studies at night, and his mother tries to make clothes, because she knew about to do that. And in that moment, they didn't need Gregorio. And Gregorio was very bad. He feels really bad. He was saying, "No, I'm bad." And in that moment, her family were good. Everybody was working. They had the money, and he tried to do something. He bring 3 people from another place, and that people pays a little bit of money about to stay in the house for sleeping and that. But in what moment, Gretel was playing an instrument, and Gregorio tries to get out of his room, and that 3 people say, "What's happened? What's that?" Because they didn't know that he was Gregorio. And in that moment, they run away and didn't pay. Gregorio feels very bad. Her family says, "No, you're bad. You don't function here." And Gregorio goes to his room, and some moments later, he dies. And that's all. That was The Metamorphosis by Frank Kafka. And love you.